Welcome to Business Reporter's The Future of Responsible Business campaign. I'm Rachel Hicks. For over 10 years, Asia has been the largest regional banking market of the world. And that's not just in terms of sheer capital. The region is also becoming the hottest furnace of digital innovation in the global financial services and banking sector. As this digital revolution unfolds, banks and financial services providers, challengers and incumbents alike, need to be on top of their game when it comes to everything digital, from back-end services to front-end interfaces, from seamless payments and credit experiences to robust security standards. What's the best and most cost-efficient way to do this in a highly regulated industry? That's what we're going to discuss with Tan Bin Rue, CEO Southeast Asia OneConnect Financial Technology. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you give us a brief roundup of the main trends that are shaping the financial services and banking sector in Asia in the wake of the pandemic?
So Asia, largest economy, fastest growing region, and in the wake of pandemic, probably the only region that is growing still at double-digit growth. We're seeing a lot of trends currently. The first one would be this wave of digital banking licenses. Started by Hong Kong, Singapore has just issued 5 digital banking licenses. Malaysia has announced that next year it will issue 5 digital banking licenses as well. And Philippines have also been exploring and recently issued a few. Not to mention also Sri Lanka and Abu Dhabi. So a lot in the extended of Asia following that trend. So the growth of Asia is largely driven by the 50% unbanked population in emerging Asia. And with the COVID situation, the acceleration became a hyper acceleration of digital adoption. And I think a lot of people are looking at Asia as the central piece of growth to win. And the pandemic, to a certain extent, opens it up for international competition because you can then sell internationally into any parts of the world. And I think China being very close, right in the middle of Asia, having built its presence in emerging Asia, investments for the last maybe about a decade or so, right, is positioned well to win this race.
What makes digital banking great?
I think everything good from an end user perspective. End users are expecting new products that meets their lifestyle, products they have never seen before. A lot of them are also experiencing a free service just to drive adoption, so a new different pricing totally. And then of course a great user experience. A lot of banks have mobile apps that are not exactly friendly. Customers don't feel served by the bank and they want to enjoy this service from a digital bank.
A bank or a financial service provider can of course hire their own developers. Why do they need external expertise or your help in particular for their digital transformation? How does OneConnect help?
Many banks have tried to do things on their own, only to realize that it takes a long time to build up that internal expertise. Right, so hiring the right talent, choosing the right technology, overcoming internal challenges with regards to sponsorship, internal structure, politics situation, are all challenges that the banks need to overcome. And it's coming to a balance between wanting to do everything yourself to outsourcing so that you can focus on what is core for you. And for OneConnect, our technology is market ready. We came with the domain knowledge of understanding what a bank needs. It's totally modular, customizable, and being able to grow with the bank as they plan their digital transformation journey, and allowing the bank to then focus on their core in terms of creating new products, leveraging on technology, and working on a brand new culture to be a digital bank. The other thing I would add is that Ping An invests a lot in R&D. Ping An invests $1.5 billion every year in R&D. OneConnect invests 35% of our revenue, which is close to $200 million every year on R&D. A lot of times when we start implementing the latest technology for the bank, it encompasses certain AI modules. And many customers are, due to hyped up of the technology, believe that it is a mature technology, but the reality is the start of a journey to mature the AI module. So continuous R&D is very important to ensure adoption of the technology that you have then implemented. We work with the bank to ensure that happens, allowing the bank to also focus on R&D of their own area and leaving this part of the AI module R&D to OneConnect.
So if a company wants to take your solutions on board, how do you work with them?
I think it's important to understand the pain points of a bank. Prides ourselves in bringing a lot of domain knowledge in this area. Half of our people are bankers. We work with the bank to understand that journey first. Of the technology that digital bank needs, we cover majority of it because their value proposition surrounds digital onboarding and lending and a digital core. So it covers maybe about 80% of the value proposition of digital banks. Our solutions are modular, allows us to customize and work with the bank on a journey of adoption, given that breadth of solutions, so that we're a one-stop service instead of them having to scout around many hundreds of fintechs for the right solution.
So can you give us a case study of a client that you've helped on their digital transformation journey?
I will choose an example in the Philippines, one of our earlier cases, earlier customers. So Union Bank also set up their fintech arm called UBX. This is getting very popular for banks to now set up their own fintech arm. And UBX is positioned to service Philippines overall instead of just Union Bank. So we worked with UBX to build a multi-lender platform that services micro SMEs in Philippines. It took about 9 months for the platform to go live. Today it has more than 10 lenders on the platform, more than 100 products. And 90% of the customers are new to the bank, fully digital onboarded onto the platform. And then the other thing to take note of the platform is, of course, it has great user experience with a 3-day loan disbursement, same-day approval. And it's also connected to the ecosystem of Philippines. That includes the credit bureau, the e-commerce partners. We work with e-commerce partners, Lazada in Philippines, that creates a non-traditional credit scoring model for Union Bank's platform.
So finally, can you give us 3 key takeaway points that you'd like our audience to remember?
OneConnect believes that technology makes finance easier and domain knowledge is important in order to do the work well. So one of the key takeaways would be the importance of domain knowledge in order to drive the technology adoption. The other takeaway would be the breadth of solutions. Many fintech kind of focus on one solution. We believe that the breadth of solutions is important, and it's tough driving a business with a lot of solutions, but the breadth of solutions allowed us to grow with the customer, and digital transformation journey is a growth journey. The last one is on the importance of R&D, and to many fintech companies it is hard to invest a lot of money in R&D, but in the wake of COVID it is important that your solutions remain agile and R&D continues to be pumped in to mature the solution that you are implementing. So with Ping An's investment as our key lead investor, this part of it is super important in the selection of a fintech.
Thank you so much for talking to us today.
Thank you for having me.